San Francisco, one of America's most notable cities. Known for its landmarks, environment, and culture, places like the Golden Gate Bridge, Lombard Street, California Academy of Sciences, the murals within the city, Alcatraz Island, and many more factors contribute to what makes San Francisco, San Francisco. However, there's one prevalent problem that San Francisco faces and that many local residents have to recognize daily. That would be the homeless population.
The problem is growing a lot faster than the city can react to it.
Homelessness in San Francisco has been a huge problem ever since the 70s, mostly due to the loss of jobs from deindustrialization, the spike in housing prices, and the lack of social welfare programs.
We had a president once who was when he was president, he did away with all the care for mentally ill people.
As President Reagan rose to his seat at the White House, he declared to combat homelessness by defunding and shutting down mental health facilities.
We have found in this country, and maybe we're more aware of it now, is one problem that we've had even in the best of times, and that is the people who are sleeping on the grates, the homeless who are homeless, you might say, by choice.
As the United States underwent deindustrialization, many of the patients in these faculties found it very difficult to resort to community centers. Instead, most drifted to the streets and used harmful forms of coping mechanisms. This ties in directly with the rates of homeless people that also suffer from different forms of mental illness. As of today, roughly 36% of homeless people also have a mental illness. As of July 2019, there are approximately 8,000 people living without a home. If today's solutions were efficient, homelessness would not be a problem for people with mental illness. Sadly, it's not. Now we need to focus on enhancing the services that are currently provided today, the navigation centers. But first, a little backstory on what they do. The first navigation center was opened in March of 2015 and served as a successful pilot for the program. Here's how they work. People are admitted based on a case-by-case situation and receive care accordingly. This is fantastic because no one solution works for everyone, so a personalized care works the most efficiently. However, the limited number of navigation centers that have been built, along with their relatively low housing capacity, only allows for a small percentage of individuals to receive care. Navigation centers, like most other housing and support centers, have a long wait line. To combat the wait times and total housing capacity, the construction of more navigation centers throughout San Francisco is called for. Western San Francisco is ideal due to the fact that there are no navigation centers there currently. Building these can be pricey, upwards of $4 million. However, San Francisco spent $241 million on the homeless in 2016, and that figure has risen since then. There is room in the budget to build more centers, and that's key to helping people struggling with mental illness and homelessness. Many in San Francisco argue that a housing-first model is the best way to address the homeless crisis. This does provide people with shelter. However, it does not take into account the high proportion of mentally ill among it. Those that suffer from mental illness often aren't stable enough to hold down a job and will eventually run out of means to support their residency. It only provides them with a short-term solution. To best help with dealing with the crisis in San Francisco, the government needs to employ and enhance the navigation centers that are currently there. This is the best way to put San Francisco on its path to recovery.